What's up? We are back for another episode of Heroes Against Humanity. This time, there are changed rules. You can't necessarily kill off a character or cripple a character to a point that they can't exactly, continue on. Also, there will be limited portals and dimension changes and time travel. That won't be as big of a thing in this episode of Heroes Against Humanity. And also, Judge does not get a retcon. Everybody gets one retcon each for every episode. Retcons will not be repeated. Any other questions? People can comment later on in this stream. And yeah, Keith, if you want to take it away, you can do your little drum roll and put out your superpower. Now,
Okay.
Round one, the superpower is a basic superpower. It's not anything crazy. So
So who's on play? Let's go around and first of all, let's see who the contestants are.
I forgot about this. Obviously, we know we got the redneck nerd here
Hello.
as our round one judge.
Yay.
I've talked a lot, so obviously I'm here. The seducer/producer, the WOTWW main dude here. We got Dick the Woodlayer Skywalker, the sports guy with his necessary.
The Woodlayer.
If you want to hear that story, it is in one of our previous podcasts. I might
like
put the
the
link
Wood
down.
Slayer.
I do believe that podcast was even named after it, so it should be
One of the
easy to-
videos, yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was a funny episode. Anyways, next we got the general himself.
I also go by C Juicy if you're trying to smash. Like
That's-
Smash Bros.
That's not appropriate.
Okay, I mean, if there's
You
any
want to put your Tinder
female
profile out there?
viewers, yeah, if there's any female viewers, go ahead and
Add me on
Did you not-
Twitch.
the general's channel is on my WOGWW support group
Same mine.
on the channel, home or whatever.
Just send him dirty pic to chat or whatever that was on DS.
Trying to pick the chat. Add me on
Picto
Twitch.
chat. Oh shit.
Okay,
NSFW.
okay, let's stop memory lane. And we got two guests from Nuke Gorilla Media, if I said that right, or if I said it wrong, correct me. We got Will returning back for episode 2 of Heroes Against Humanity. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Oh god, just all the volume.
So
And you also have Will, another Will from New Gorilla Media. So we're just
Will and Will.
Whoa! When there's a will, there's a way. His name is now Way. His name is Way now. There's
When
not
there's
two
a will,
wills.
there's a
There's
will.
Will and Way.
Oh no. This is getting
No.
close to way. I think
Alright,
we're-
Will, your name's Will, and Will, your name's Way.
We'll figure that out.
The first- The first will is Will. The new will is Way. That's how it goes. What's up, Way? Introduce yourself, buddy. Or did you already do that?
Yeah, I mean, I just work with Will at New Gorilla Media. Joining you guys, seeing what kind of shenanigans you guys get into. Hopefully, it's gonna be a good time.
All right, Keith. Hardy, let's do the drum roll so you can announce his power.
Lay the wood.
What was it?
Oh, I said lay the wood. So my power is it's a real power, but it's going to be a little bit tough. It's controlling plants.
Okay, kind of like poison ivy.
It's a little bit, yeah.
All right. So you want to do the countdown for us all to go over our spit out our characters, and go over our characters one by one, like we did in the last episode.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Name your characters.
Leonardo.
Burger King.
Mario.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Alright, let's go down the list, okay?
All right,
Okay.
Richard.
I'm Superman.
I think he said he's Superman.
Okay, quit laughing, okay? So, Artie, who was your character?
Gonna shoot the plant in the foot on a hunting trip.
Don't give him ideas.
It was the face, by the way.
Superman.
All right, Richie's Superman.
Okay,
Caleb, who are you?
we got Superman.
Oh. Mario. Mine is just Mario.
Okay, we got Mario. Nuked Gorilla 01.
It'd be
First
me.
one.
It's Burger King. The king.
Oh, the kid.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
that's a guy I haven't heard of in a while. And
And I guess
other one.
from away, it's Dick Cheney. Bring it on.
Oh boy. And for Dylan,
Hey, Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles.
Ooh.
Again?
wait, did you have that one before?
No, we
I don't
didn't use
think
him
you did.
before.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
So are we live right now? Cause I can't.
Yeah, we're live.
Are you sure about that?
I see my bit rate.
You sure?
It's going somewhere, so it's gotta be.
Aliens.
I don't think it's on my channel.
Been hacked.
And hang on, I'll take a look.
It's going to the Koreans.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Before we continue, we have to make sure that we are.
I didn't
live.
change any settings, so I know I'm streaming.
He knows it.
No, it's not. It's not live right now.
Well, it's
Alright,
live
we're going
somewhere.
Live. We're going live in.
Oh shit. What the
Oh
fuck?
my god.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's my next hero.
Yeah, Keith, we are not live.
I don't know which one to do, dude. I mean, I've checked your settings. It's going.
I'm still crying.
You better check your channel settings.
Channel.
You start laughing, I start to laugh too. Stop.
Oh. Laughing.
Yeah, the way it looks right now is that
Controls plants.
everyone still has permissions.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
I'm gonna assume YouTube's acting up right now.
Hey, I'm recording. I'll send you the file.
I am too. I have a backup.
Oh, you have a backup, Keith?
I always have recorded backup.
Okay, so just
I'm probably gonna go
just-
through and edit it with music and stuff. And edit it. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, maybe trim this part out or whatever. But I
yeah,
guess
I'm
we'll
gonna
keep
upload.
going.
Yeah, keep going.
Alright, what's the order we're gonna go in? Who's going first?
Do you want to do it the same way we announced it, or do you want to volunteer, or what?
Let's do it how we announced, if you guys
Yeah, you-
remember.
Just Keith, just pick random, go down.
All
the
right,
line. Pick me.
Richie, you ready?
Oh god. Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's do it.
Alright. So it was a dark, stormy night. Superman flying through New York City. Looking around,
The
fighting
fuck's he
crime
doing
where he can. Even though
For real.
Spider-Man daring. He swoops down to a dark alley. Looking. He sees a criminal off in the corner. Starts running over. He wants to beat this dude up. And then, boom, gets cracked over the head. No idea what happened. Wakes up.
Retcon.
Hit me.
He's fighting Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. Okay. So
The
Abraham
Vampire
Lincoln-
Slayer.
Thought he was dead, but he was on ice, just like Cap.
It's Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, so badass Abraham Lincoln. Gotcha. So that's who cracked him over the head then, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Alright. So, Superman wakes up on the ground, looks up, and sees none other than former President Abraham Lincoln. Decked out like a badass, staking a vampire right in front of him. Dude, what the hell did you hit me for? Well, that was a vampire. This is my job, dude. Get off my turf. What? So, Superman just like punches Abraham Lincoln. Just shut the hell up. Punches him. Goes off on his own business. And then suddenly he feels a stake hit him in the back. He's like, what the hell just happened? Turns around. Abraham Lincoln is still chasing this dude. So he goes and just laser beams him. Just heat vision. Done. Abraham Lincoln disintegrated. He did so
Retcon.
much, but hit me.
Abraham Lincoln is actually made out of adamantium.
Yes!
Oh shit. Okay, so Superman goes to zap him with the heat vision, and it does nothing. Abraham is still walking towards him, his top hat now on fire, because, you know, the top hat is still clothing. Honest Abe is
Retcon.
walking viciously. Hit me. What's the retcon?
Bugs Bunny pops out of his top hat and kicks Superman in the face with his Kryptonian toenails.
So it's a legitimate rabbit out of
What
the
did I
hat.
just
that
hear,
you
dude?
pulled. You just pulled a legitimate rabbit out of the hat. Are you serious?
Maybe not.
God damn it. Alright. So, Honest Abe lifts his top hat, and a foot with Kryptonian toenails comes flying out and socks Superman in the face and knocks him
Dude,
back
that was
20
sudden.
yards. He looks up and he sees Bugs Bunny hop off of Abe's head, which I don't know how bugs fit in this hat, but that is impressive. I just want to put that out there. But now it's a 2-on-1. Superman decides he has to go after Bugs Bunny first because he holds Superman's weakness. So he goes to try to zap him with the heat vision, and then Honest Abe jumps in the way. He realizes in that moment he needs backup. He goes running, jumps and flies. Honest Abe is still chasing him with Bugs Bunny. They're super fast for some reason. Gotta be something bug. But they're still chasing him. And then Superman sees a greenhouse off to the right. So,
Retcon.
ducks in. Yes.
It's a Dairy Queen. Yes.
Superman flies into the greenhouse just to be faced with a Dairy Queen instead. Wow, this is a very weird architectural decision here. Superman decides to order a blizzard and then goes back out on the run.
At least she loves blizzards.
He loves blizzards, of course.
They don't drip. They never drip.
He goes running up the street, and to his left now he sees a greenhouse, and he ducks it. And this time it is not a Dairy Queen, which kind of bums him out because he was gonna have some chicken fingers if it was, but he's okay with it. In the shadows, he sees Poison Ivy. She's just sitting there tending to her plants. He says, "Poison, I need help. I got 2 dudes on my ass trying to kill me right now. I don't know what I ever did to them.
That sounded gay.
What?"
That sounded gay. Also, Bugs is a bunny.
Jesus Christ.
And a Flagstaff down on the play.
He's a humanoid fucking rabbit. He's a person in this situation.
Wait. What kind of Bugs Bunny is it? Is it the fat one, or is it the lady Bugs Bunny, or the normal one?
Please be Big Chungus.
It's Bugs Bunny. There's no Lady Bugs Bunny.
Big Chungus.
There is! He cross-dresses! He cross-dresses!
Whenever he cross-dresses, he's still technically normal Bugs Bunny. So
Exactly. You got a Lola Bunny maybe, but and there's no woman. This isn't Deadpool. It's Bugs Bunny. I mean, it's
Does this mean I can't use Big Chungus as a character now?
hey, big Chungus for Smash.
Back to the story. So Superman asks Poison Ivy for help, and she's just like, "Dude, I don't know you. I'm not gonna help you." And so Superman grabs her by the shoulders and throws her against a wall, and he's like, "Listen to me. You are gonna."
This is getting steamy.
That's the non-safe for work version of this. Okay, we're keeping it like PG with cussing here.
So PG-13?
No, it's a little bit more than 13, but whatever. Yeah. Throws her against the throws her against the wall, and heats up his eyes, and he threatens her. He's like, "You
Viewer
are going."
discretion is advised.
What? No. You're going to help me out, or else. She's like, "Oh, or else." Okay, I'll help you.
Is he gonna show?
As Poison Ivy gives him the fuck me eyes.
He gives heat vision eyes. She gives fuck me eyes. It's a total perfect situation. But she walks over to a cabinet that she has in the greenhouse with all sorts of vials and everything. She holds up this one with a sparkling green liquid inside, and she says, "Listen, you drink this, you're gonna be similar to me."
Wait a second. Sparkly green liquid. What is this shit?
It's
What is
Ninja
it?
Turtles: Return of the Ooze.
Basically.
It's Mountain Dew.
Hey, it's legal in California. That's all that matters.
I think Alex Jones hit that a couple times. Alex Jones.
Back to the story.
She's like, "Okay, you drink this magic potion. You're going to have the power to control plants with your mind, but you have to use it wisely, because you only have it for 24 hours. So, she gives him the vial, and as soon as he's about to take a swig, boom! Door comes flying open. Bugs Bunny comes hopping at a serious rate. Abraham Lincoln shoots a crossbow in Superman's direction and hits his arm, so he drops the vial. It goes rolling. He had enough time to like put the cork back on it, because he's like, "Oh
They
shit!"
see me rolling.
They hate it. But yeah, the vial goes rolling towards a sewer grate that was not like a sewer grate, but like a drainage grate, because you know it's a greenhouse. There's a lot of water there, so there needs to be drainage. It goes rolling towards this grate. Superman's like, "No," and he tries to smack Bugs Bunny off of him, because Bugs had hopped over and tackled him. And Abraham Lincoln comes running over at the same time. Bugs kicks him in the face, which obviously is messing him up because of the Kryptonian toenails. And then out of nowhere, Poison Ivy decides to be helpful, runs over, grabs the vial, runs over to Superman, and just like throws it at him. As he gets booted in the face again, he catches the vial, uncorks, glop, drinks it. All of the plants come to life inside the greenhouse. And just grab Bugs Bunny and Abraham Lincoln and launch them around inside of the greenhouse, just through the windows, back into the greenhouse, against the concrete ground, back through the air, throwing them around, just beating the hell out of them. And then they all form this one huge arm. Alright? Imagine a huge plant arm
Feed me, say so, or is it Seymour? Is this fucking what's it called? Little
You're talking
yeah,
about
little shop of horrors.
Please know your own references before attending the program.
I don't know that reference, damn it. But big plant arm grabs them both and just cocks them backwards and then launches them out of the city and into an awaiting Mount St. Helens volcano. The end.
Good. That was good.
That was a rough
Fair
one.
enough.
That was well done. That wasn't too crazy or anything. That's pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Alright, Keith.
next one would be Caleb. Are you ready?
Oh, must be the money. Okay, here's something I'm gonna do.
Let's do it.
Keith, I just want you guys to agree with me if this is okay. So it doesn't drag out too long, I'm gonna set a 10-minute timer every time somebody's turn starts. And if those 10 minutes are up, it means your story gets cut off, next person, for video purposes. Is that okay? Or would you rather just try that next time?
What's a good time? I think like 5 minutes and then like end it by 6.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, honestly, because of how many people we got, that might be.
Well, like you got 5 minutes, but like after the 5 minutes, you can choose your ending. Like you just hurry up and end it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
After the
Yeah.
5 minutes.
That's how I feel every Friday. Just hurry up and end it.
All right.
Alright, that's what's going on then.
All right. I'm ready.
Who's
You guys ready for this? Go on a journey.
Oh yeah.
Bring it on.
What is it,
Alright.
Mario?
And my character is Mario. So this takes place in the Smash Bros. Universe. The Nintendo universe.
Fair
And,
enough.
you know, it's time for Smash Ultimate. You got a whole new list of fighters that, you know, are here to battle. And, you know, Mario, he used to be one of the best. But now, I guess maybe he's just getting old. He can't perform like he used to, you know what I mean? So,
Oh, Mario! Where's Luigi? He does better!
what he does is,
Take a
Go
mushroom, Mario.
this universe is a little different, because he goes out and to help
Tag team bros.
Alright,
to get an advantage,
continue the story.
he goes to the local Walmart and buys some Heelys. So, against all the fighters, now he has
Back
a
on.
new item, which is
It wasn't Walmart. It was Cabela's Outdoor Living. And the Cabela's only has rifles.
My retcon?
okay.
He meets John Boone in the Cabela's and fights to the death.
Okay, retcon. John Bone was the retcon. The fighting death part, that's a situation, not necessarily
Okay.
a retcon. So your retcon was the John Bone thing or
John
whatever.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty. So he gets there and he finds a rifle and he actually finds a 50 cal.
10-second penalty. He gets 10 seconds back.
So he grabs a 50 cal and, you know, he's been tired of being picked on and, you know, all these other characters better than him. So he basically becomes a mass shooter with the 50 cal inside the Cabela's.
Put it on.
So he kills everybody. So what Nintendo does is, you know, they realize that Mario is now even more of a psychopath because he's a mass
really
murderer.
That's yours.
With a 50
Oh, thank
cal.
you. It's
A lot
really
like
good.
Punisher, basically. He's basically Punisher.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Tell Richie and me juice.
They send the whole entire
Tell him you're drinking a soda.
roster of
So
Smash
Richie's
Bros.
Richie's
after Mario. So it's Mario against
designation is that you have to finish
all the
that
other fighters,
mason jar
right?
in 2 seconds.
and he has a 50 cal. So what happens is he gets through.
That's how
This is what
fast
happens.
this
All
looks.
the entire roster comes after
2
him.
seconds.
What's your retcon?
Crazy hand rips off
Do
both
it.
of
Do
Mario's
it.
arms,
Puke.
so he can't fire the gun
We
anymore.
puke together, damn it.
Perfect. So this is what happens. Master Hand grabs one arm, and
Mamma
let's just say
mia!
Crazy Hand grabs the other. And they just pull, and they rip both of his arms off.
Holy
But what
shit.
happens is a super, like a giant mushroom comes out of nowhere. So he gets it, he eats it, he becomes this 40-foot giant Mario with no arms. So what he does, he literally stomps out all the competition now, just with his feet. Like, he's just stomping everybody out. Fox puts up a fight, he loses. Captain Falcon punches him, blows out one of his kneecaps, Mario's limping. Kirby, believe it or not, sucks him up, gains his power, and Kirby becomes a 40-foot Mario, but then he just gets stomped on again. Luigi comes up, gets stomped on because Mario hates him, right? Mario's just stomping on everybody. So then the best character in the game comes, and it's King K. Rool. And Mario has a very tough time beating King K. Rool.
Alright, contestants, we have 1 minute on the clock.
So actually, even though King K. Rool's the best, Mario stomps him out too. So then a new challenger approaches, and it's, believe it or not, it's the Piranha Plant.
Yes.
See where I'm going?
Oh shit.
So it's giant 40-foot Mario against the Piranha Plant. Battle to the death. So they go to Final Destination. Mario is trying to stomp out the Piranha Plant, but the Piranha Plant's too good. So Mario does the final Smash Ball. He gets the final Smash Ball because he just cannot keep up with Piranha Plant. Because Piranha Plant is actually the best. And because Mario does not have any arms to fire out any fireballs with his final smash, the energy around him from the Piranha Plant, and this gives
4
him the
seconds on the
ability to
clock.
control any type of plant around him, all plant life, all nature. The ability. He becomes the Plant Whisperer. He becomes like the plant, basically the plant god of Nintendo. So he starts controlling the Piranha Plant until he rips him out of the pot and like tears him apart from his roots until he's nothing. And it's a fatality from Mortal Kombat. And that's
Final
how he crosses
minute.
over for the new DLC for the MK game.
That's
The
pretty good.
end.
Huzzah!
Alright, so Will's next.
Which Will? Oh,
Uh,
Will, not Way.
Not Way.
That way. It's Will.
Confusion is spread.
So I got the King, the Burger King. So one day at your local Burger King,
Retcon.
the King.
It was TGI Fridays in New York City.
TGI, I can work with that. So the King, the Burger King, he kicks down the door of this TGI Fridays. And he has like an AR-15 and just starts mowing down people because they're not eating his tasty, delicious burgers. And then he sees these mushrooms. So he walks up. He starts making himself a sandwich, lettuce, tomato, some mushrooms, onions,
Retcon.
the beef patty. What?
It turns out the only food in TGI Fridays is a Big Mac, and he refuses. It goes against everything he stands for to do anything with the Big Macs.
Okay. So he accidentally makes himself a Big Mac,
Dang.
and he lights it on fire. Then he walks across the street and busts into this McDonald's place. Sees
Retcon? Whenever he lit the Big Mac on fire, it burned down the building, and he got arrested for arson.
I hate you so much.
Good one, Richie.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want.
Mr. the King, step away from the eatery.
Okay. So, as he's getting put in the squad car, he's on cops. So, he's getting put in the squad car. His head can't fit all the way. So he's banging his head against the fucking side of the squad car.
Oh my god.
So then he has enough.
Red con. He's not on cops when he gets in the squad car. He's on Oprah.
You get a felony. You get a felony. You all get felonies.
Just a reminder, 3 minutes on the clock.
Oh, I got time. Okay. So Oprah walks up to him while his head's bleeding because the cops are fucking beating the shit out of him.
Banging his head against the car.
Banging the head against his car. I guess they're McDonald's fans or something. So she walks up. She's like, "The King, the Burger King. Can I help you out?" And he just looks at her because he can't speak. And he just looks at her, and just one single tear just rolls down his face. And 1 sec, somebody's knocking on my door.
It's the King.
Pause the clock for him, Dylan.
The clock is currently on 2 minutes and 20 seconds and counting.
He just broke the fourth wall.
Pause the clock, dude.
The clock is paused.
You're about to burn down your house.
Who knew the Burger King was actually Deadpool and could break the fourth wall? He's gonna burn down Bill's house.
We can never use the Burger King as a character. He will come and kill you. You know them YouTube videos about Ronald, like, as an actual, like, murderer clown? That's actually the King.
Okay, I'm back. What fuckduggery have you guys been talking about?
The clock is currently at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. About two
Okay.
when paused.
Okay, ready? Pause. So Oprah sees the King crying, and then she just goes into a full Super Saiyan mode and beats the shit out of these cops because they're harming the King, the one and only. And she steals the keys, gets the King out of the cuffs, and then they walk off into the sunset together. She hands him a joint. The joint gives him the powers of, not Venom. Fuck, what's it called? Poison
Is
Ivy.
this a Seth Rogen movie now?
Yes. Poison Ivy. They walk into a distillery together, and then all the buds just start floating up and going into his awesome, huge mouth. End of story.
This how it's beautiful.
I have two questions. Just for
Yes.
my own. A, how could Oprah tell that the King was crying? It's a plastic face.
Hey!
B, how did all of the hops go in his mouth? It's a plastic face.
Hey, did he conclude the story?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I said end of
Now I
story.
can reset. Now I can
This
reset
is
the
the
clock.
real King. Like, the fake Kings have the plastic mask. This is the real King, that when he took his
Real
plastic
King.
mask off, it was the same thing except flesh.
Yep.
Just like Master Chief.
Just
Yep.
like Master Chief.
It's like the meme with Kevin Spacey. That's exactly what this is.
Alright, who is next?
Is way.
Yeah, I think it's me.
When there's a will, there's a way. Alright, the clock is about to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I invite you to join me on an epic journey as we float down to the Ruskin mountainside country of Wyoming. We zoom in on a highway. On the side of the highway, we see electrical company workers mending a power line out in the desolate wasteland. As we zoom in, we realize that one of them is in fact an alcoholic electrician. This electrician
Hold on, I gotta pause the clock for a second.
This
If I ever
sword
do a
is
trailer, I am using your voice for it.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, okay, play the clock.
This electrician just so happens to be named Dick Cheney. As Dick is working on the power line,
What?
he suddenly...
Retcon.
No.
It wasn't Dick Cheney. It was John Cena!
How can you see him?
But that's...
How do you
Okay.
know?
I do have a question. If you retcon my character out of the story, what can I do?
You gotta bring him in somewhere else.
Okay. So John Cena is working swiftly. So swiftly, in fact, that
No one
everybody at the work
sees.
site believes the job site is now completely haunted.
Hold on, did I retcon his actual character out?
That's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, his character is
Okay.
Dick Cheney, man.
My bad. My retcon is eliminated. Go back to your part of the story.
Give him some 10 seconds at least.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
back. We're
give
back.
him 10
Yeah,
seconds.
I am.
We're back
He's
to
getting
Dick
20,
Cheney.
actually.
And as he works on the power line, he loses his grip and begins plummeting to Earth. Without a moment of reaction, he looks back behind him to see what he's going to fall on. And it just so happens to be a full
Recon.
football. Yeah.
Dirty mattress full of tires.
It happens to be a dirty mattress full of tires.
I just wanted to laugh at a Recon, I'm sorry.
So, Dick Cheney impacts this dirty mattress full of tires like a blob of fire, flying into the ionosphere. As he breaks the atmosphere of Earth and begins to exceed terminal velocity, his skin begins to melt away from his body. He reaches escape velocity and begins revolving around Earth. He
3
soon
minutes left on the clock.
He's quickly sucked deeper into the gravitational pull of the sun. However, it is not a stable orbit. And again, Dick
Retcon.
Cheney. Yeah.
The sun is now Alex Jones.
The physics the same, or is it just Alex Jones?
It's just Alex Jones.
Okay. So Dick Cheney is now flying through space at several tens of thousands of miles an hour. And he sees what appears to be in the distance a very loud but almost insignificantly small screaming person. For only a picosecond, he hears, "Frog's gay!" And he slips past into the dark stairs of the universe. Without time to realize what had happened, he accidentally enters a wormhole. He gets sucked violently through an ever-winding channel of confusing and completely bewildering dimensions.
Recon.
Finally, yeah. Hit me with it.
When he comes out of the wormhole, after he's seen all these dimensions, he lands in the exhibit in the zoo with the penguins of Madagascar.
Oh my god.
Dope. Also, note, Wei has used his transportation. He no longer has any more transportations.
Okay. So he slips through this cacophony of portals and other dimensions. All of a sudden, Scoo comes to a screeching halt. His face partly melted off. He stands up, looks at the damage, and realizes that he's landed in between 4 now completely dead animated penguins.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Kill them all. How are we gonna leave now?
He's standing in a 10-foot crater. The screams of the
Skipper, are
populace
you okay?
can be heard describing.
Kowalski, status report. We're all dead, sir.
Kowalski, analyze.
Not good, sir. Okay. Rising from this molten pool of cement that his hypervelocity ass left in the middle of Central
Do you
Park
like Panic
Zoo,
at the Disco?
he crawls forward,
My first question.
grasping for the water at the edge of the
Can I see
exhibit.
them again?
The people scream in terror.
I don't know.
Dick Cheney has no option but to
Where do we
flee
go?
deeper into
I don't know. You want to see him again or not?
As he's running, He finds a nice
Yeah.
large bush.
Like
and
a little
decides
bit
to
or a
crawl
lot bit?
inside of it for safety.
Love it.
A lot of it.
30 seconds left on the clock.
Also,
No
I'm gonna find the
Redcon.
hotel rooms for our trip.
As he crawls deeper and deeper and deeper, he
Make sure you
finds a
get
hole
the
in the
15th
ground, and finding no better
Do it.
option, decides
Make sure
to
you
crawl.
get the 15th off.
Okay.
Okay, love you.
While crawling, he loses his grasp. Falling, falling, silence, silence, silence. He stops moving. He can feel a sharp pain raging through his abdomen. It's dark. He feels around. It appears that a giant spike is now floating through the stomach cavity of what used to be Dick Cheney's internal organs.
Oh boy.
Feeling that the end is nigh, he desperately cries out. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm gonna try. He desperately cries out to the pagan gods of Nor. Hear me, Odin. Do not let my celestial glory slip so easily into the darkness. From high above in Valhalla, he hears, "Yeah, bro, I got you. No worries." Himself, from the ancient gods of the sky. He reconstructs his body, now fusing with the biological life around him. He grows and grows ever more powerful. He rises from Central Park, and Dick Cheney's wrath is upon the earth. End of story.
That was good.
Damn.
Everyone on the dance now.
Bow, 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 bow.
That's
Am
me
I-
head now.
I would like to put to vote that we change will now to way, and that way is now the will of the
Shit.
Wow.
I just got used to it.
So, am I the only remaining contender?
Yes, you
Yes.
are.
Wow, I get the being last pressure, huh?
And you have to follow that.
Alright, I am starting my clock now. Alright, here is Leonardo and his brother Turtles just chilling on the couch in their sewer base. Master Splinter comes up and says, "Turtles, I have an urgent meeting." And then they're like, "Master Splinter, just tell us now." Alright.
Master Splinter kills the other 3 turtles and
Oh.
then kills them,
Okay.
and it leaves Leonardo in a crippling depression, just gnawing on
Okay.
pizza and 450 pounds. Go ahead.
Retcon. And a pissed off Nicolas Cage is there.
Alright. So here's Leonardo sitting on the couch in the sewer with 400-pound Leonardo. And here's Nicolas Cage just comes. Come on, man. God. Why are you so goddamn fat, man? You were my childhood hero, Leonardo. And now you're fat. What happened to you? You were a leader. Leonardo. Fat Leonardo. Okay.
Leonardo, he can hear everything, but he doesn't want to respond because he's too busy listening to music in his earpods.
Okay. So Nicolas Cage yelling and screaming. Yelling and screaming at Nicolas Cage. Well, Nicolas Cage yelling and screaming at Leonardo. It's like, you know what? You know what I'm doing? I'm calling him. And he calls him on his phone that he has the AirPods into. Leonardo declines the call. Out of nowhere, Nicolas Cage looks around the base and sees that there's a phone with a number next to it, and it says April. And Nicolas Cage, pissed off, calls April. "Bitch! Come get your fat won't do shit. Okay? Come get him. So as she goes. Okay, fair enough.
Alright, so Nicolas Cage accidentally calls John Cena and says that exact same thing out of him.
I can't. I didn't hear the retcon.
Yeah. So Nicolas Cage dials a phone number and yells what you said at the person. And it just so happens that John Cena is the person on the other side of the phone.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So, after he tells John Cena this, John Cena's like, dude, what's your problem? He's like, looks at Leonardo, texts him, so is April a guy? Question mark.
Oh.
Leonardo responds, hell no. So then he's like, where's it? So here you have Nicolas Cage talking to John Cena, and he's like, okay, man, so where's April? And John Cena's like, who's April? And he's like, oh, you know who I'm talking about. You're impure! Then Nicolas Cage gets all furious and turns into the Ghost Rider. He grabs Fat Leonardo and straps him to his bike with duct tape.
That's some extra strength duct tape.
Flex tape.
Okay. And then, now that his bike is 4 times slower than it usually is because of 400-pound Leonardo, he's going down the highway on his way to interfere with John Cena. And when he meets John Cena, he can't see him. So he's like, what's going on here? And with Fat Leonardo in the back, Shredder just comes by and sees this fat turtle. And he's like, what happened to that? Is that Leonardo? It can't be. Well, since he's all sad and depressing now, I might as well have him for myself. So he shoots him with a mutagen blaster and shoots Fat Leonardo in the back of the bike. And out of nowhere, Leonardo turns no longer fat. He's no longer his earbuds completely exploded, so now he doesn't have them. He no longer has a phone. He's still sad and depressed, but for some reason, he's made of plant. And now, every time he looks at something, he can control all of the plant life. And that, my friends, is the end of the story.
That was a story.
That
A
was
lot
a
of
story.
thinking.
That's a great synopsis of it. Well, that was a story.
It was a difficult story. It was a good retcons. Alright, you can go ahead and
All right.
choose your winner.
All right. So Richie was Superman. Caleb was Mario. Nuked Gorilla 01 the other way. Which one were you?
No, Will.
Oh, original Will.
OG Will.
All right, what were
Original
you?
Will was the Burger King, and the way
Oh yeah.
was Dick.
Dick Cheney.
Okay.
And his name is Dick Cheney!
All right. Am I ranking them or?
Yeah, whoever the winner is the next
Okay.
judge.
I'm just gonna say the winner, and I think Richie got it for me.
Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. All right.
And that was really close
No.
too, because Will and Dylan were like tied for second.
You mean Way and Dylan or Will?
Well, the original Will, now Way.
Okay, so Burger King and Leonardo were
Yeah, they were tied for
tied.
second.
Hey.
Okay,
Like
okay,
they made me laugh the most, and they tied it up nicely at the end.
That works.
Alrighty. So, Dick the Woodlayer Skywalker, as the winner, you are the next judge. This round,
Yeah.
your power can't be absolutely crazy, but you're allowed to pick your power with a side of something. So go ahead and show us
Oh
your power.
shit.
Okay, give me.
Oh, just a reminder, guys, we're at 50 minutes.
Oh, it's okay. We can like trim it into different episodes.
Okay.
We'll have like each
Okay,
round
so-
as an episode.
It can't be too wild. It has to be within realm of
Yes,
sort of.
It's a normal power, but with a side. Like it could be like a weird side. Like say, for example, the power to shoot ice out of your hands, but only in the sky.
Only in the sky.
That's an example.
All right.
Now
Okay.
you can pick yours.
All right. I got it. I got it. You have the ability to fly, but every time you use the ability, you grow an extra finger on your hand.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Wow.
You can do the countdown for our character picks.
Fuck.
God damn it. I'm trying to think.
Give us like 2 seconds.
I'll go a 10-second countdown for you guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Danny
So
DeVito.
I didn't understand a single person saying anything.
Alright, we'll go one by one.
Alright, I'm gonna go in order of how I see it on my screen, okay? So, it goes Way, you're first.
Alright,
Greedo.
my character. Oh wait, yeah,
Yes.
no, I'm Way. I'm Way, right?
Yeah,
you're
you're
Way.
right.
Okay, yeah. So my character is Hamburger Helper Hand.
Oh my god.
Will,
Greedo from Star Wars.
like, you have to explain who Greedo is. Come on.
The guy Han Solo shoots.
Oh, we all know who
Okay.
Greedo is.
Hey, see Juicy, who are you picking?
I picked Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, man, it's gonna be good.
My fucking dude. Yes. Listen. Huge Buzz Lightyear fan growing up. I appreciate that.
Same.
You always hated Woody.
Buzz and Woody. Buzz and
Let
Woody.
me get the recount.
Richie hated
was
Woody.
Zorg was the best.
Okay. What?
Zorg was the best. Just saying.
You mean Zerg?
Zerg, not Zorg.
Zerg.
Got him.
Okay, it's
Jason-
been a while.
He was so good you forgot his name. Okay. Dylan, who's your character?
SpongeBob.
Hey, I did that last time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Doodle Bob.
Yes.
That'll be better.
Doodle Bob.
He's your first.
Am I last?
Yes.
Okay, I picked Danny DeVito.
Oh god.
Yes. Yes. This is gonna be fun.
Alright. We're gonna start off that way.
Okay. The
It
timer is
should be
starting
good.
now.
Yeah, Way. You go.
Alright, alright. We find ourselves in the bustling metropolis of Chicago, Illinois. As we zoom into the frozen streets, we find our character walking upside down on his finger and middle pointer and middle finger down the street. As he approaches a phone booth, the phone mysteriously rings. Scrunching up, standing only on his pinky toe, he reaches for the receiver. Hello? He whispers cautiously into the receiver. Hello, says a mysterious and ominous voice.
Retcon.
What's up?
It's Bill Cosby.
It's William Cosby.
William Cosby.
Okay.
Wait, are they the same person or two different people?
The non-rapey one.
Hey, the timer's still going. I didn't pause it, so I mean, you might want to continue.
Yeah, okay. So he answers the phone cautiously. Hello? Well, hello there!
Oh my god!
On the other side of the phone. Would you happen to know exactly where I might be able to get a pudding pop? The hamburger helper hand shrugs, winces slightly, and slams the phone shut, deciding to continue on his journey and not deal with such a horrible man. As he walks down the street, he is immediately hit by a city bus. Darkness. Our hero reawakens in a dark warehouse in the south side of Chicago. Electrical cables buzz viciously overhead. A masked man approaches and says, "So you thought you could get away from me in the pudding pop?"
Yes!
Hamburger helper hand is completely frozen in fear, realizing that his one chance to escape was soon taken away by public transport, the most evil of all institutions. Lightning strikes overhead. Okay. As he struggles, Bill Cosby attaches multiple electrodes to the fingers and joints of the hand. Helplessly, he somewhat squirms against the tight-fitting restraints. Woo-hoo-hoo! Try as you might, I've been practicing for a while. Soon, a wave of depression overcomes our hero. But soon, he uses his culinary intellect and telepathic powers and summons his one true friend. The one, the
Retcon.
only. Yeah.
His one true friend is the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
Hamburger helper slips a finger out. Bill Cosby whispers, "Oh no!" Before anybody can adjust, a thunderous sound comes into the warehouse. Oh yeah! Unfortunately, as Kool-Aid Man busts through the wall, he accidentally trips, spilling his contents and immediately dying. His Kool-Aid seeps into the electrical work all around the warehouse. A huge surge of electricity flows through the
Retcon.
building.
Retcon.
Yep.
Charlie Sheen bursts in SWAT style from the ceiling.
Before anybody can realize that the electric grid has been overrun, the lead actor from Hot Shot and Hot Shot Part 2 slides in through the roof, wielding nothing but a bow and arrow and a chicken.
Man!
Before Bill Cosby can realize what's happening, Charlie Sheen takes an expert shot, piercing Bill Cosby through the chest.
Man!
Oh no! You did it! You did it to me! I'm gone! As Charlie Sheen approaches our hero, who's deeply scored and somewhat crispy, let's just say that. He nudges him. "Hey pal, are you okay?" Hamburger helper screams, "No, don't touch me! I know where that hand's been!" In the sheer panic of effort, Hamburger helper flexes all of his fingers at once, and immediately bursts through the ceiling of the warehouse, now electrically induced with the power of both flight and AIDS. Well, thanks to Charlie Sheen.
Okay, everybody. He finished the story with 27 seconds left on the clock. He didn't even go over 5 minutes like the most of us, so that was pretty good.
I just want to point out that with the superpower, it sprouts an extra finger, so he now has 5 fingers instead of 4.
But they're not covered by the glove.
His exposed finger is immediately exposed to the polar vortex and immediately falls off due to frostbite death.
Alright. Who's next, Hardy?
Will's up next.
Okay, I got Greedo. So, 20 years before the events of Star Wars New Hope. Greedo is a young teenage boy, or teenage alien. And he's walking around Mos Eisley, trying to look for some work. Yes.
He's not walking around Mos Eisley. He's walking around SeaWorld.
SeaWorld? Okay, I can deal with that. So he's walking around SeaWorld, you know, checking out some stuff, looking for some work, looking for some sketchy work, because he's really down on his luck, you know. And then he sees this orca whale, and it jumps over him, and he does the Free Willy pose, with just 3 fingers, and his
Right,
green alien face. What?
So it's not an orca, it's actually Mark Hamill flying through the air screaming, "No! That's impossible!"
Which age Mark Hamill is this? Because this is 20.
Left on the clock. 4 minutes.
Okay. So, Greedo sees this and he's just horrified. So he runs away, and he gets into the supply closet, and he backs up. Then he hears this noise, doo noise, and then Kim Possible, the door flips, and it's Kim Possible standing right in front of him. And then he punches Kim Possible in the face as hard as he can because he's a misogynist asshole. And he steals the naked
Why would he
mole rat.
punch? Wait, this is Greedo. Why would he punch? He shoots first.
But he doesn't have a gun yet. He doesn't work for Jabba. But he punches her in the face, steals the naked mole rat. He's running down the hallway. The naked mole rat bites him in the hand. He chucks that
Right. It's
Rufus. He chucks that bitch. He yeets that bitch against the wall, and it just bursts into just putty and mess and blood. And then his hand's bleeding. He's got this green blood, you know, like aliens do. And he just looks at his hand. He stops for a second. Kim Possible gets up and pulls out this taser and a rape whistle and starts running down the hallway, blowing the rape whistle, blowing the rape whistle with a taser in her hand. So he stops and he just starts taking off again, but yet his feet are slowly leaving the ground. And then he starts like walking up the stairs, like the invisible stairs. Yes.
Shamu swallows him.
Yes.
Okay, so while he's flying, Shamu
Does anyone
eats his
see
ass.
similarity to the Bible story Jonah now?
Yes, Shamu eats his ass. But yet he didn't eat.
No homo.
He only got like half of Greedo's body in, and he bites off his legs. But Greedo can live without any legs. So then he just like puts his arm out like Superman and flies straight through fucking Shamu. Then he grows he grows a 4th finger out of his hand, and he flies away with his entrails falling behind him. End story.
I learned that Greedo's an animal
Still hear
abuser.
Mark Hamill screaming, "No, it's impossible."
Yes.
That's my favorite part. I wish that I could actually see that in a film. No, it's impossible. Floating over somebody.
Someone should have made him say it in his Joker voice.
Did Will conclude his story?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
All right.
With 30 seconds to spare.
It's over to see Juicy, the general.
So we're in the Toy Story universe.
You got a friend in me.
Exactly. We're in the room of Andy himself. All the toys are around, you know.
Retcon.
Yeah.
You remember that movie Ants? It's that battle scene. That's where he's at.
There are ants everywhere. Buzz Lightyear's just running through the yard full speed. And, you know, people were just looking out the window like, what? Like, and if you see him, it's like just a little speck on the ground, like chasing this guy, and he's just sprinting. But there's like an army. From his perspective, it's the apocalypse. So, off in the distance, he sees Woody. And Woody is, he's one of the resistance fighters in this scenario. Woody and the other toys are part of a ant resistance. So he's like motioning him. He's like, "Come on, you gotta just get over here." And Buzz is just running. He pops his wings out, and they,
Retcon.
you know, pops out. Yeah.
It's not a resistance. It's a high school book club.
In the book club, it just so happens this week in the book club, they're reading the encyclopedia about ants, and they look over, and they are the only people on Earth right now who can help Buzz. So they're reading through. They're speed reading. And Buzz is just running. You know, the ants are jumping. They're biting him, pulling parts of his plastic off. It's like it's like World War Z, except ants and Buzz Lightyear is Brad Pitt. That's basically what this is. So he's running. He remembers back in the day when he was just a new recruit in the academy. Oh, and in the Space Ranger Academy, he was just a recruit. He remembers his lessons that he used to take about flight. He used to think that he was the best pilot, the best actual person who could fly, best space ranger in the entire galaxy. Until that one day, where Woody was like, "You are a toy." He lost all of his confidence. Completely lost all of his confidence of flight. But the ants were getting closer. The only way that he could get away was to pop out his wings, summon everything he had in him. He started to take off the ground a little bit, but the ants kept jumping up and were pulling him closer to the ground. So the ants kept pulling him closer to the ground as he was trying to get away. So he remembered back to his days in the academy when he tried to fly. He popped out his wings. Yeah.
Buzz now comes screaming awake in the reality that he's not outside. He's fighting through Andy's mom's, now fresh out of the dryer, pile of clothing on the ground.
Everything is completely dark. He wakes up, it's completely dark. He smells the scent of fresh Febreze. He has no idea what's going on. He makes his way to the edge of the steps, because you know they're upstairs where all the rooms are, the bedrooms are. He makes his way to the edge of the steps, but he doesn't know it, but he's about near the edge. He thinks the only way to get through it, he starts firing his laser, but you know, it's just a little laser pointer, it doesn't do nothing. He's trying to break through it. Next thing he does, he pops out his wings, and you know, the clothes kind of move a little bit, but he still doesn't know what's happening. He gets to the very edge of where the railing is for the steps. He starts hearing the voices he heard when he was in the Space Academy telling him how to fly and everything. And he thinks the only way to get out of this is to somehow try to fly through the fabric. You know what I mean? So he pulls out the wings, and it turns out he's at the very edge of the steps. He falls down. He falls over through the railing. Now he's falling straight towards the ground with his fabric all around him. His wings are out. He somehow summons so much speed that he starts to break through the fabric. His wings start to cut through the fabric by just the sheer
30 seconds left on the clock.
He starts to head down. He can see the floor through a little hole in the fabric. He begins to pull up. He tries to pull up real sharp. The clothes hit the ground, except he pops up, head straight, horizontal, head straight, summons all the strength he can to just fly. All the toys are looking at
Retcon is all a dream.
You know, it's crazy.
Wow.
Even in his dream, he was flying, and all the toys are looking at him. And as he's sleeping, there's more and more fingers start to appear on this toy. And Andy comes in. He's looking at him all crazy. He looks over and notices all the other toys are awake. Next thing you hear is Woody. He screams and looks at Buzz. "You are a freak!" And then Buzz wakes up.
I wanted to do my retcon earlier, but everyone kept messing it up.
Aw, you're good. So, who is next, Hardy?
That would be you, Riggs.
Oh, okay then. Juan?
Dare yawn on the podcast.
Okay, so, continuing on an alternate ending of one of the old SpongeBob episodes. So, SpongeBob points toward Doodlebob with
Retcon.
a pencil. Hit me.
Yes, it's
no
in.
whammies, no whammies.
It's not in the SpongeBob universe. It's in. Fuck. It's in the Courage Cowardly Dog universe.
There they are, in the living room, with Courage cowardly in the corner, and the old man, whatever his name was,
Eustace.
Eustace angry out on the porch, screaming because out of nowhere, SpongeBob and Doodlebob popped in the living room. There SpongeBob goes, "Well, Doodlebob, looks like this is a draw." Doodlebob goes, "Moi," sharpens his end of the pencil with the eraser, and then draws himself wings. Then, Doodlebob starts flying, and out of nowhere, hands made of pencil marks just keep popping on him, with fingers sprouting like no tomorrow. The end.
Shit.
Wow.
That was cheap.
Wow.
That was cheap.
Retcon. It's not the end
Hey, I like that.
of the end.
Red card.
My
Retcon.
story's end. You can't retcon an ending, buddy.
We haven't put that in the rules, buddy.
It's the
You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
Alright.
Always
Alright.
the retcon by the end.
Retcon.
So it is
Retcon.
the end.
Retcon. He tries to escape, and the chicken alien abducts him. It's Courage Cowardly Dog.
So now Doodlebob, with his powers already, gets abducted by a chicken alien.
And they cut him down.
You were done with your retcon, buddy. There's nothing going on. Like, you were done with your retcon. You can't just continue your retcon after I already resumed my story.
If nobody has any retcons left, I think Riggin actually
I
has
have a
finished this.
retcon. I haven't used mine yet.
Use it.
Alright, here's the thing. With all of the extreme number of fingers that is now sprouted out of Doodlebob, he is absolutely no longer aerodynamically sound and crashes back down to Earth up to the weight of his many phalanges.
Okay.
So wait, is he not abducted by aliens?
He takes the alien shit down because of the weight of all of his fingers. Is that what you
Okay.
want?
Okay.
Okay.
This is a train wreck.
Doodlebob crashes down back on the Earth because of the weight, and he completely gets all of his fingers flying everywhere, obliterating the smithereens and everything. All that's left is one arm. Patchy the pirate looks down in the water. Is that SpongeBob? He puts a scuba suit on, dives underwater.
We're
and
back
then
here yet?
He crashed back down. I mean, what else you gonna do? Anyways, he grabs out.
The Cowardly Dogs universe back to Bikini Bottom.
Oh, snap! A good point. That's a very good point.
I was
Okay.
waiting. I was waiting for this. And
Way far.
Okay. Then, when Doodlebob crashes into Muriel's house, there's nothing left of the house. All you have is Courage, just looking at an arm squiggling away. Courage feels bad and thinks he has to be a hero. So then he goes crawling over, and out of nowhere he gets shot with a harpoon gun. There's
No.
Patchy the pirate looking. He's like, This ain't Bikini Bottom no more. But I'm gonna protect the only thing I have left of SpongeBob. And then he draws Doodlebob back with the wings. And then Doodlebob flies again with it, sprouting a finger every time he flaps a wing. The end.
Doesn't he crash again?
This is a very, very, very terrible aerodynamic unsound scenario. It worked though. You got to the end. You survived.
That was impressive. You got there quick.
He did. He snuck it out from all of you. And the worst part
2
is,
minutes
as the judge, I
and
saw
13
it
seconds
coming.
left.
I saw it coming originally, and all I wanted to do was yell out someone use a recon, but I can't as a judge. Because I have to remain impartial. But I saw that coming. Dylan, understand, had I had a recon, you would have been toast. But at the same time, I respect that hustle. You were fast as hell.
That was good, man.
That was impressive. Alright,
Roger.
Keith, you're the last one. You and your slurp juice drinking self.
It's pretty good.
Is it? Yeah, Bailey sent me the photo. It looks really good.
Yeah. Doesn't taste like it has much alcohol in it though, so that's probably not good.
Who is Keith's character?
Dude, listen, so I told her, I'm like, you have to drink it in 2 seconds because that's how it is in the game.
I don't think your stomach volume is the size of a mason jar, dude.
I don't think so either. You'd fucking die. With all that alcohol, too. Oh my god. Okay, but get to your story.
Yeah, I was Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Oh god.
Danny DeVito.
For Smash. Okay, so it's like downtown in like these busy streets of New York or whatever. There's a trash can, and all the people hear when you walk past it is snoring sounds. And you hear a yawn, and it's Danny DeVito. He opens the trash can lid, wakes up, yawns, and he goes, "I'm the trash can." Okay.
He's on Sesame Street.
So he wakes up. He goes, "I'm the trash man." And what's the Grouch's name? What's the Grouch's name?
Rickon.
The Grouch.
Oscar.
The Grouch.
Oh, Grouch. Okay. Okay, Rickon, go ahead. Go ahead.
Rickon.
Go ahead.
Rickon.
Why am I on Sesame Street again? Why am I on Sesame Street again?
So in the trash can that you're in, there is no Oscar. It's an entire maze, a microscopic maze that he can't get out of, but he has to follow Blue's Clues to get out of the garbage can.
Why you always send me to
Wait,
kids
does that
shows?
mean that Danny DeVito is microscopic too?
C.
Ooh.
So David was like, "What is going on? I'm so lost. Must have been the shrooms I took." And he sees a blue paw print. That's what they were, right? He sees a blue paw print leading him to the different directions in the maze. He's like a fork in the road. There's another paw print, and he's following these paw prints, like they're pointing him in just one direction. And he sees a door. Okay.
Not only is it pointing in a single direction, it's also continuously pointing in the general direction of the boy band One Direction.
Oh, God.
Fuck me.
Dude, whenever he said One Direction,
That's what makes you beautiful.
I fucked up. So he finds the end of it, and he opens the door, and it's the boy band, One Direction. I know nothing about those guys. Oh fuck, I'm screwed.
Damn millennials.
And they're playing like one of their hit songs. I don't know what it is. I don't know. They're playing one of their hit songs,
Okay, Keith,
but he's
Keith,
microscopic. He's
I got-
microscopic, so you don't see him.
I'm gonna pause this real quick. Okay. You know Rucka Rucka Ali, right?
Yes.
You know his song, That's What Makes a Booty Call or whatever?
No. Oh. Okay, I know who
It's
they
the
are now.
parody of one Direction songs.
The beautiful song. Yeah. Can we just?
Yes,
Can we?
there
Can
you
we?
go.
Can someone make it Rucka? That'd be better. Okay,
I'm
so they're
about to.
So they're playing. Beautiful. Whatever.
Timer is no longer paused.
Okay, so they're playing
3
beautiful.
minutes left on the clock.
So they're playing beautiful, and he's still microscopic, so they don't see him walking in through this like tiny ass door. So he's like trying to escape, but all the doors are closed, and he can't fit under the cracks. So how does he get out of here? What the hell? Did you fall asleep?
He's slurping.
Oh, so he's like, how do I get out of here? And he's like, I gotta trick. I gotta trick one of these guys to open the door for me. So I get out of here. But he's like, he has no way of getting their attention. Then he has an idea. He climbs up the drummer's drum set, and he's like there. He's bouncing on the drum like he can't do anything.
Is anyone else thinking of Step Brothers right now? Get your ball sack off my drum set!
We just become best friends.
So he does. He gets their attention. He can't hear him, so he gets their attention the best he can. He lets out a fart,
Squawk!
and it makes everyone clear out of the room. All the doors burst open. They're just running out hell out of there, like ah! They're all accusing on each other, and the boy band breaks up because, like, you know, they don't trust each other anymore.
1 minute and 30 seconds left on the
So
clock.
he's running down this one hallway, and his things are starting to get really fucking weird. Like the hallway's starting to spin and all that shit. So he's like, "Wait a minute, it's just the mushrooms." He's like, "If I'm high, I can do whatever I want." So then he just flies.
I can do whatever I
He
want.
flies, but then it turns into a bad trip, a really fucking bad trip. And he starts to flying, and he happens to look at his hand, and he's got like all these extra fingers on his hands growing, and that scares the shit out of him, and he wakes up back up in a trash can in New York, and he's like, "I'm not doing those shrooms anymore." And that's
I
it.
like
the
how
end.
it came full circle.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was good.
That is good. That is good.
Is the story concluded?
Yeah, he woke
Yes.
back up.
Good job, Keith. You got 40 seconds left on the clock. You didn't need the extra minute. That is very good job. You made it within time, which the majority of us have, except for Caleb, sadly.
Okay.
That was tough.
Oh man, now I gotta pick the best. Holy shit. Wow. That's a tough one. Like, I'll be
Wait,
honest.
is there anyone left?
No, that's it.
That was the last one.
That's the last one.
Oh wow.
I got three people who I'm having a tough time picking between. So I'm gonna list those three and then like give the best parts of it. Just I got Way, Dylan, and General. So I got you three as like my top three stories this round. Dylan, your speed was unmatched and that was sneaky as hell. Way, you're just really continuous with the storytelling. Like there's no breakup. It's like I'm actually listening to somebody tell a story. So I like that. And then Caleb, you made me laugh a lot. But so with the whole time thing, I gotta give a little extra credit with that. So Caleb, I'm sorry, I gotta drop you off. And then that comes down between Way and Dylan. Oof. I gotta give Dylan the edge there because like his ease of finishing the story first, like before the retcons hit again. Because like honestly, I give him credit for the story being done at that point.
And he finished it
Because
twice. And still had time.
He finished it twice. But the first time he finished it, like he finished it to completion. You guys still retcon, but he was done at that point. He got to the point of what it needed to be. The soup was tossed out. He was done. So he did that super fast and like unimpeded really well. So Dylan gets the edge on that one.
Okay.
I demand a recount. No, I'm just kidding.
No, 2 times in a row, I have been sitting listening to yours, and it sounds like you're legitimately telling a story, like you're reading off of an actual book. So it's
That's
really
what I was
good.
saying. Like, if I ever make a trailer, he has to be the intro voice.
Absolutely.
In a world, in Detroit, in a long road in Michigan.
Whenever you said Dick Cheney, that took me out.
That opening was good.
Zooms in, and it's Dick Cheney. I was toast. I had to
Alright, you guys. There's gonna be part 3 to this video. Maybe not part 3, but I guess we could actually split this video
We're
into
gonna-
3 different episodes.
Yeah, it's an hour and a
that's
half.
what's gonna be cool. That's what's gonna be cool, is we can have 3 things of content with just this one. That is, I like that. I really do. Okay, so this third round, the power is completely just out of the world. It just doesn't make sense, okay?
Okay.
So, the power is the ability to stack 17,000 cups within 42 seconds while giving fist bumps at the same time.
I didn't know we were in 2005, but okay.
That was like 2007.
To shorten it up, you can stack.
Stack what?
You can
Okay.
stack. You can stack cups really fast. You can stack cups and give fist bumps really fast at the same time. That is the power. If you want to know where that came from, I am staring at a thing of cups right now.
I got a character idea. I'm gonna exploit the shit out of this.
Alrighty, you guys are gonna give me your characters in 5, 4,
1 sec, 1
3.
sec.
Yeah, 1 sec. Holy shit.
I'm looking up when the speed stacking game started so I can yell at Hodgson about it. No, I think it started in 2005.
Wait, dead ass.
Are
Holy
you really gonna argue the history of the fist bump?
No, the
How are you guys
speed
doing a
cup.
debate video on this? Okay? It's a completely pointless debate video over stacking cups.
Hey, it's not pointless. We're getting to the hard truth, okay?
Yes.
The people need to know.
Okay, let me think.
In prehistoric times, cups have been stacked for ages and ages. Alright. I'm gonna give a 10-second count. You guys think of your characters, okay?
I got
Okay.
mine. I'm ready.
10,
Ready?
9, 8,
Oh shit.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, go with
Madam
the power.
Curie.
Dr. Mario.
Alright, we're gonna go down the list.
King.
We're gonna go down the list of how I see people. Alrighty, Way, go ahead and name your character.
Riddick.
Ooh.
This be interesting.
Alrighty,
Riddick.
Will, you are next.
Madam Curie.
Alrighty, Dick, the Woodlayer Skywalker, you are next.
The Greek god Hades.
Alrighty, General Johnston, you are next.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Hey, Scooby-Doo was used.
You better have some Shaggy
In the last-
references.
Scooby-Doo was used in the last episode.
That was a
so-
pup named Scooby Doo, though.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a pup named Scooby Doo.
I'm talking about full-on Scooby.
We're talking
Okay,
normal
okay.
Scooby.
Alright, let's do Scooby then. Okay, we got Scooby-Dooby-Doo in this party. Alright, Heath, what's your character?
Dr. Mario.
That's pretty cool, man.
He
Pretty
stacks
dope.
already, and he punches.
I'm feeling good right now. Alright, that is all. So I'm not gonna go on the list or the way this thing is. I'm gonna randomly pick these, so we're gonna go right off the bat. Way, you were first.
I'm on the top of the list anyways. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
that-
no problem.
that's a fair point. Oops.
I just finished my slurp juice.
Alright, go ahead. And the clock starts now.
Alright. We find ourselves slowly floating down over a lush green forest. We hastily zoom across the horizon, finding ourselves in a bustling metropolis. A Coca-Cola factory building moves over the distance. As we zoom in to a neighborhood of old houses, we find our character, Riddick. Riddick is wearing a nice three-piece suit, walking swiftly down the sidewalk. He turns to an old house along the way, opening a realtor box. Putting in his special key, he removes the key to the front door. Soon, his customers will arrive. He gets everything ready and makes sure the house is clean. He's not sure what to expect of these new clients. Within moments, a large bus pulls up the sidewalk next to the house. All of a sudden, 80 or so frat boys, completely full of alcohol and other illicit substances, pile their way out into the foyer of the house. Riddick looks around. If this isn't the saddest shit, if this isn't the saddest bunch of fucks I've ever seen this side of the system, hell, I'd give you a nickel. The senior frat boy steps forward and immediately throws up all over the front of the house. Well, I couldn't expect much better, I guess. Without anything else, a creaking runs through the floorboards. It turns out that the frat boy had just thrown up acid. Before anybody can react, the floor begins to break away, revealing what used to be, or what must be, a centuries-old sinkhole that has formed slowly under the house. Before anybody can react, yes.
The house starts popping out balloons like Up. The movie Up.
Is it flying?
Yes.
Okay, this is too easy. Without a moment's hesitation, Riddick quickly runs to the pantry and assumes all 1,700 cups out of the pantry.
What the fuck?
He immediately begins forming a...
Somebody retcon!
Retcon, balloons pop.
So, as he's trying to take
Oh,
the
shit,
cups out
Emma.
of the house, the house has already lifted off the ground, so he has to jump. And then the house goes and gets blown with a gust of wind a little bit over top of him and falls on top of him. He's not dead. He's not crippled completely, but he is stuck
just
underneath
trapped?
the house. All of the cups are crushed and unusable now.
Did I
Go
use
ahead.
my retcon?
Go ahead.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so Riddick is now under the house. Slowly, his muscles twinge, and his ghostly hand punches through the sediment surrounding him. He grabs a simple twig, sets it on a rock next to it, and tells the house, "I'm gonna kill you with this splinter." Immediately realizing that this is Riddick's power move, the house decides to get the fuck out of Dodge and leaves him completely fine. Riddick, without a moment's of hesitation, runs to the nearest Aldi's supermarket. Quickly tackling all of the workers, he punches his way to the disposable cup and utensil aisle. Without a moment to lose, he hastily returns back to the campus in desperate search for any kind of frat organization or any other kind of drunken jackasses he might find. At this point, he realizes that he's deep within Georgia Tech's campus, and there are, in fact, no frat boys, just dirty fucking engineering nerds.
Wow.
Ouch.
He runs to the middle of campus, hastily builds a pyramid of 17,000 cups, quickly assembling them in no less than 40
Retcon! Retcon! Earthquake knocks everything down into a fissure, and the fissure closes up.
Riddick picks up the cups. He puts the cup on the earth and tells the entire earth, "I'm gonna kill you with this cup." Immediately realizing that that's what his power move, the entire earth decides to get the fuck out of Dodge and leaves the solar system in entirety. In the solar system with nothing but 17,000 cups. Again, he quickly stacks these, and in a moment,
30 seconds remaining.
Doctor Who flashes in through the tortoise, goes, "Wow, that's a great cup stacking."
TARDIS! It's TARDIS, not Taurus.
Whatever. The most righteous of fist bumps, all happening within...
Just to add some drama, as soon as he's finished stacking them, he died.
But he still got the fist bump, that's all that matters. Thank you, good night.
3 seconds left, and you did complete it. Congratulations.
That was good. That was good.
You guys are trying to kill me.
One of us did.
Alrighty, next on the list is the Redneck Nerd.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, Dr. Mario. So Dr. Mario's locking out of the clinic. He's just closing down his clinic for the night after being tricked by Bowser to give him a testicular exam.
What does that mean?
He's walking back to his to his his apartment building. It's dark. It's raining.
Bah, Peach
Then-
will never like you if he's diseased.
So then all of a sudden, the rain gets heavier and heavier. A flood breaks out, cutting off his path back to his home, in his home apartment. He's like, I have to get back home. How do I do it? It's too far to jump across. And in this version of the game, I can't swim. So he has to find a way to stack something to get over across this obstacle. Okay.
In the flood, Mario is swooshed down deep inside the earth and finds himself trapped in a giant sphere, 1,000 feet in circumference, made
Okay.
purely out of
Made out of what?
Made out of what? Friggin' quiet. I can't hear what he said. Made out of what?
gelatin.
Retcon.
Oh shit. Okay.
And George Washington is in the gelatin.
Is he alive?
You as
Is he
president.
alive?
Yes, he's just suspended animation.
Okay. So he's like, I have to get out of here. It's a long way down, and I'm stuck. And he's just like trying to waddling through all this gelatin, and his boots stick to the floor like each step he takes. He sees what looks like George Washington frozen animation inside of the weird strawberry flavored gelatin. He attempts
Grandpa.
to. Well, yeah.
He has to give him the fist bump.
I was actually planning on doing that, but okay. So he starts eating his way out George Washington out of the gelatin, and he finishes eating it. He's so full. There's no way in hell he's gonna climb. But George Washington says, "Yo, what the hell happened? We need to get out of here. Where the fuck are we?" And he's like, Mario explains the whole situation, or Dr. Mario explains the whole situation. It's like, we need to get out of here. We're stuck inside the earth. There's no way to climb up. And he's like, we'll find a way. And he's like, I stole this from the British back when we dumped all their tea overboard, all their cups. So there's a entire so hidden behind him. So hidden behind him is an entire ship full of all these cups, and hey, they have to eat all the gelatin the way out, and it takes them
Retcon.
weeks. Yeah.
So he gets struck by a lightning bolt that makes it so that he can't do anything in under a minute at all. Not a single task can be performed in under a minute.
Who got electrocuted?
You're
Mario.
Mario.
Okay. So
I'd
he's
just
like,
to remind you that the superpower is to stack the cups in 42 seconds. And
oh, what the
and
fuck,
I
you
can
dick!
task in under a minute. So figure out a
You
way
fucked
around
me.
this. That's all you, bro.
All right. So,
1 minute and 5
oh
seconds
fuck you,
remaining.
Regan. So he's like, George, you have to eat the gelatin. You have to get those cups out now. So George is eating it. It's taking months for George to eat it because George is fucking old as shit at this point, and he's eating all the gelatin, all the strawberry gelatin. He's fucking sick of strawberry gelatin. He eventually gets all the cups out. The whole entire ship is exposed. So he used the ship as some sort of landing platform, and so Mario's like, George, it's all on you. You have to do this. You have to stack out of here. So George begins stacking and stacking and stacking. And it gets so high up that George actually falls down and breaks his back. So then George is like, Mario, I can't do it. I just can't get up there anymore. I'm going to die here. He's like, you have to summon the strength to get out of here. So then he reaches out and gives Mario a fist pump. The fist bump gives Mario so much energy. And he remembers back to his Dr. Mario days where he's stacking all the pills. And with such speed, he stacks all the pills quickly. And he escapes. I just barely did that. Holy shit.
You did it at the buzzard. So,
You guys fucked
Good
me on that
job.
one.
that was a pretty good one. I just came up with something fantastic for a tiebreaker, so I'm gonna go ahead with The Woodlayer's next.
Okay, alright. So, just a reminder, my character was King of the Underworld, God of the Underworld, Hades.
Is this the
So
Disney
anybody
version?
who's gamed with me knows that my username is WobblyHades94. Just putting that out there.
Is this the Disney version?
What's up?
Is this the Disney version? Like from Hercules?
No, this
Oh.
is like the actual
Oh, okay.
Greek god. Yeah. So,
All right,
We find
starting the
ourselves-
clock now.
yes, start it. We find ourselves in the underworld on Friday the 13th. All of a sudden, Hades decides, you know what? Let's throw a bomb-ass party, guys. I don't know. I just feel like throwing a bomb-ass party. What's up? Did somebody say
Retcon.
retcon?
Yep.
Okay.
Hades finds himself on Hello Kitty Island adventure.
2.
Okay. Deal. So, Hades is suddenly transported to Hello Kitty Adventure Island. He's got to collect souls there or something, he decides.
Wow.
He's walking around.
Retcon.
Yes.
There's a dome around that universe so he cannot escape.
Okay, I can work around that. You try, but you fail. You fail hard. Okay, so Hades is walking around Hello
Retcon.
Kitty Adventure Universe.
Retcon.
yes?
Retcon. There's no living things at all on this entire island.
Dude, you underestimate Hades.
Other than Hades.
You guys are fucking giving me a win here.
Alright. I mean,
only
if he
have
was Disney Hercules, I mean, not like the Hercules one, he could like go into the pool with all the souls and just like, you know, hang out with them.
Normal Hades can do that shit too. Normal Hades has full control over every soul.
But there's no living souls here.
And he can't
no,
escape.
there's no living things. A soul is not a living thing in the underworld.
Oh, those guys can exploit the shit out of this.
Yeah. Okay, so Hades is walking around on Hello Kitty Adventure Island, just chilling. He's all by himself. There's not another person around. He's like, you know what? This is fucking dull. I'm mad that I can't party with the kitties around here before I kill a few. So I'm gonna summon all of the souls that I have in my possession. Hades is just chilling. He's looking around. He's looting places just because, hey, why not? He's out and about. Might as well do it, right? So he comes across the local supermarket that they have on Hello Kitty Adventure Island, and there's all sorts of bedazzled plastic cups just chilling there. He's like, man, this is perfect. Let's see what else is here. He goes down the aisle and finds a big old aisle full of alcohol. He's like, holy shit, these kitties are lit. Summons all of the souls that he has, all of the souls that he has around, and just they all start loading up on stuff because they can physically pick up things. They're able to physically pick up things. So they're loading up all of the cups out of the store. They take all of the alcohol. They find hella tables in the cafeteria down the way, the store cafeteria thing down the way, and they just set it all up, and they have a huge beer pong tournament, right? And Hades is just wrecking everybody. Just game over. Boing, boing. Drink, you soul. And the souls can't drink, but still, it's just the idea of he's embarrassing them because he just wrecks it. He's had, what, millennia.
1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock.
So, Hades is just rolling through, and then somebody's like, yo, Hades! I bet you can't stack cups, bro! Hades is like, you did not just challenge me, bro! Do you even come, man?
Hades is a frat. Confirmed.
So Hades goes through, and he's like, alright, everybody, clear these fucking tables. I got this on lock. He just rises up, and he uses the powers of a few souls that are nearby and willing to help out, and he suddenly sprouts extra arms, and so he goes on a tear, just stacking all of the cups, just flying through 17,000 cups, 41.78 seconds. Stacks them all up, huge stack, game over.
The end.
36 seconds left on the clock.
You didn't fist bump.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay. Can I still re-edit that or no?
You have to, yeah.
Go for it, but you got 36 seconds on the clock.
Okay, he's fist bumping the souls that are helping him at the same time, and he actually had an extra soul kick into him and sprout arms at his legs so that they can fist bump the people next to him as he's stacking the cups. And now it runs him 48.96 seconds because he's got to take an extra second, like extra millisecond every once in a while to fist bump real quick. So, but he still gets him stacked and done. Story over. That time.
That was still pretty good. That's still really good.
Alright.
The worst part is I set myself up because I knew that I had to do the fist bump thing, and then whenever I was trying to finish it off, I got sidetracked and I forgot all about the fist bump a little bit.
Yeah, you're good. You made it on the buzzer, just like Keith did. So still technically under time. Next is Will, and not Way.
Yes. I have Madame Curie, famous female scientist from the early 20th century.
Why's she gotta be female?
Yeah,
bro?
I have no idea who that is, so you're gonna have to make the story real
No,
good.
she discovered radiation, didn't she?
Well, she
yeah.
worked she worked on a lot of radiation.
Radium and yeah, and she died from, what was it,
Starting
mercury
the
poisoning?
timer, and 3, 2, 1.
So, the place is we swooped down into an early Paris streets in the early 20th century, right before World War One. We're just sweeping through nice, great camera shots, a couple of lens flares, and we zoom in on this balcony where this youngish woman is just standing there, leaned over. Her back is sore from sitting in a chair all day after writing 32 papers, doing sciencey shit. And she sees this little boy, and she's like, "Hey, little boy, what day is it?" He's like, "It's Christmas Day." I don't know how French accents work, but
Not like that.
Not like that.
and she's like, "Oh shit, I didn't buy my husband anything for Christmas." So she runs out, gets on a little trolley that's running into the heart of Paris. Beautiful city. It's snow-capped. And she gets
Red
to this
Dawn.
little oh, fuck you, yes.
Yep. Okay, so the main villain in the Disney classic, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Claude Frollo, kidnapped Madame and forced her to tend the bells atop Notre Dame.
But she didn't even get to publish her papers. But okay.
3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock.
So she gets kidnapped by this weird, creepy, I want to say, weird, creepy, long-nosed dude. And he just kidnaps her, and he puts her in this weird tower thing, Notre Dame. And he says, "You need to ring these bells at the specific time every day." And she's like, "I can do that." And so she hangs out, and she finds these wooden cups. And she invents cup stacking. She cup stacks so many cups. It was the best cup stack there ever was. It
Recon.
was 17,000. What? I'm
See-
back. Yeah, it's also.
She was too fast. The cups caught fire and it turned to ash.
Yes!
Okay.
Recon, after those cups caught fire, she promised that she would never stack cups ever again. Her speed was too incredible.
Okay.
She felt it was a danger.
Okay. So after she just had that great awesomeness, she decided to go into her mind palace and try to do that, but she does not want to destroy any more cups on the living earth, so she does it in her mind. That she stacks so many cups in her mind, is 17,000 in 42 seconds, and she fist bumps Julius Caesar while she's doing it in her mind palace in story.
Oh my lord.
All
Nice
right, 1
recovery.
minute 47 seconds left.
That is a very nice recovery. I like that.
All right, we got our final contestant.
By the way, I just
Deborah
stacked
Johnson.
18,000 cups in my mind in 42 seconds. Just saying.
Did you fist bump anybody when you were done?
All right, Caleb, are you ready?
Alright, so the gang's all here. You know, they heard about a crime, a mystery going on in this mansion. So it's Shaggy, Fred,
Zoinks!
Daphne,
Retcon.
Velma. Yeah.
The crime is Pablo Escobar. All of the crime.
Is the crime is just him, or
just
did
him
he do
sitting
anything
there with a
specific?
glove patch.
Yes. With a mountain of cocaine and a shotgun.
Alright, so in this haunted mansion in the middle of nowhere, Pablo Escobar. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna probably help you with this recon, but I just gotta make the joke because I have to. So, in this version of the gang, Shaggy is a god who is also a part of Mortal Kombat 11. But like
Yes,
he is
yeah.
The director just responded to it.
his own god. And recon.
So, in this haunted mansion, it's haunted for a reason, but Pablo Escobar's in here sitting on some mountain of cocaine. And that's the crime they hear about, but there's something more mysterious going on behind the scenes. Pablo Escobar is in here actually hiding from something. So the gang shows up. It's God level Shaggy, Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Scrappy. So the gang's here. They begin to go into the haunted mansion, searching around for clues, and all they see are just trails of cocaine. So Scrappy begins to sniff around, to try to find some clues, and he starts to trip a little bit. He sees Pablo Escobar, but he doesn't know what's going on. He's tripping. So they begin to walk around the haunted mansion together. The gang starts tripping out because they start hearing voices. Things start moving. They see cocaine everywhere. They see an empty pile of cocaine in the middle of the haunted mansion, just chilling. And they wonder where Scrappy is. So they split up. Fred goes with Daphne, right? Velma goes off on her own. She ends up disappearing. Next thing you know, Daphne ends up disappearing. Fred's left all alone. So he's searching around. He's like, wait a second, where did God level Shaggy go? So he starts looking around, sees Pablo Escobar come out of nowhere. So he thinks he's tripping on cocaine. So Pablo Escobar runs up to Fred and stabs him in the neck.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Everyone else is missing, but God level Shaggy comes from around the corner. And this is the God level Shaggy in Mortal Kombat. He throws the "get over here" at Pablo Escobar, yanks him over.
Zoink.
Zoink punches his fist goes through Pablo
1
Escobar's
minute,
head.
30 seconds left.
Fatality. Pablo Escobar is just dead on the floor and just bloody on a pile of cocaine. Next thing you know, around the corner comes this masked figure, right? This is the person Pablo Escobar was running from. This was the only thing that he was scared of. So it's this random, mysterious, ambiguous figure against God level Shaggy. Shaggy uses his super speed and his godlike powers to run over, yank the mask off this mysterious figure. And this mysterious figure is none other than Scooby-Doo. So, the only way Scooby can fight this is he gathers up all the cups, right? All of the cups. And Shaggy you know, he's tired of killing. He's like, you won't stack those in under 45 seconds. Scooby's like, I do it for a Scooby snack. So guard level Shaggy pulls out all these Scooby snacks out of nowhere. And Scooby Dooby Doo just starts stacking all these cups. And
Retcon!
stacking all of
Retcon!
them.
Retcon!
Yeah.
He drops the cup, he steps on it, and he actually rolls away and locks himself in a closet.
So this happens, and after he's locked in the closet, this closet, for some reason, Pablo Escobar stacked all of his cups full of cocaine in it. So there's like over 9,000 cups of cocaine in this. All of the cocaine.
Continue your story.
I hate to ask, but did I use my Redcon?
Yes.
Okay.
Did he finish the story up, or Caleb? Are
Recon?
you there?
Is there, use your Recon?
We're waiting for a way to use his retcon.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
so you want me to
I thought you said I
continue?
used it. Okay,
No,
sorry.
I thought you were asking if he could use it.
Oh, go ahead, you can use it.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, that was my bad. At that point, when he realizes that there's over 9,000 cups, all of a sudden, oh, you guys are gonna roast me for this. It's not Vegeta. Or it is Vegeta. Isn't it? Over 9,000?
Yeah, Vegeta.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So all of a sudden, he's counting all the cups, and as soon as he gets to 9,001, Vegeta materializes in the pantry, exploding all the cups into nothingness, screaming, "Over 9,000!"
You're my hero for that.
So this all happens and all the cups are destroyed, but Scooby's upset that he didn't get a Scooby snack. So he turns, looks at Vegeta, with his paw, grabs Vegeta by the throat, and just crushes his throat into nothing, and kills Vegeta instantly. Shaggy, God level Shaggy gets so afraid of the amount of just cocaine, crazy Scooby-Doo that just crushed Vegeta's throat. He throws him all the Scooby snacks. And guess what else he does? Snaps his finger, all the cups reappear. And Scooby's like, you know what? I'm gonna finish what I started. Stacks all the cups in exactly 2.69 seconds.
69. You forgot fist bump.
Alright.
Fist bump. You forgot fist bump.
So, obviously, we still got the tiebreaker, but
You forgot
I'm gonna
the
go
fist
with
bump,
one this
though.
round. He was multitasking, man. He was fist bumping.
Okay.
Just go with it. Okay. I'm sorry, Will, but you're last, just due to the fact that it was in your mind and it never actually. There was never a story of how he actually got the power, or
Boom.
she.
Madam Curie.
It was through radiation, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Hardy,
That would've been-
I'm sorry. You're in fourth place just because it dragged and you completely forgot about the fist bumps, like 100%.
Wait a second, so we just rolled with it on the last person, but mine. Okay, all right, it's all good. It's all good.
Caleb, you're in third just because the lack of fist bumping and you didn't make time.
I got retconned like 10 seconds before we're done.
Yeah, I know they were difficult ones. All right, so Keith, you get number 2.
Oh, sweet.
It was hard choosing between you and Wei, just due to the fact that they both eventually came together, but yours just kind of collapsed together, and I really enjoyed how Wei just made the character a complete frat character.
Well, they literally collapsed me in a hole.
Everything was dropped on top of me, okay? I had to make the wood disappear.
So, well, not Will, but Wei, you get this one. And now,
Thank you.
At least New Gorilla got one.
Yeah.
okay, so here is the tiebreaker. Okay, the 3 winners. Who won round 1? Richie?
I got number
Okay.
2.
You won round 1, I think.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, you
Richie
did.
won.
Yeah. That's right. It was
Okay,
round 1.
so you're in the final 3. Obviously, I made the final 3, and now Wei is in the final 3. Now here is the thing. The 3 losers, okay, pick the characters that the 3 winners you're doing the tiebreaker have to do.
That's
Okay.
And
Can we be Team
Got-
Gorilla?
Yes, Team Nuke Gorilla.
No,
Okay.
then you're
Okay.
teaming. We can't allow teaming.
Okay,
No
that's
teams,
fine.
okay?
Question.
Okay. Keith, since you were the general first person, you have to choose which people pick characters for which winner. So, who is
Okay.
picking my character?
I think 2 people.
It's all for the. You gotta pick 3 people
Okay.
for the winners. That pick the characters for the winners.
Alright, who can I pick from?
It's you could pick any character, but it's you could pick. Oh, the 3 losers. My bad. Will,
You,
Caleb,
and
and yourself.
Alright, Caleb's picking for you.
Fair enough. Alright, who's picking for Richie?
I'll pick for Richie.
Okay, and I guess it is Team Nuke Gorilla.
Ah, we pulled the fast one on you.
Yeah.
Alright, now here's the thing.
That is great, Caleb.
Since you picked who gets paired with who, Caleb, you pick the superpower. Wait, no. Here's something great. Person, quit laughing! God!
Will, calm yourself down.
Input it, rage.
Okay. With the power, the loser who is paired with the winner picks the superpower and the character.
Oh snap.
Okay.
So, it's still the 5-minute timeline, but if you don't make it in 5 minutes, now the entire story gets cut off since it's the tiebreaker.
Ooh,
Damn.
so
And since I'm a winner, somebody else gets to do the timer now. Because I could cheat if, you know.
I mean, let's be real. There's nothing on the line. You aren't gonna cheat. You already know you're gonna lose to me. You aren't gonna cheat us.
Oh, damn. Bold statement.
Alright, we got some cockiness over here. Alright, so.
Cockiness from Dick.
Wow.
Alright, I guess.
Alright, so
Oh
how
my
are
god.
are we gonna have a certain time frame for us to get the characters and whatnot, or is it gonna be like one go?
It's. You'll have time, like the first selection, and you could just think of who the character is and the power and their story.
I already got it.
Okay.
Alright. So we'll start with Team Nuke Gorilla since you already got yours.
What
Okay.
Let's bring it on.
Ooh. Caligula.
And
Caligula?
Yeah, Caligula. Water
and
bending.
the judge is all 3 losers, so just the winners can retcon each other.
Ooh. Okay, so, and who's got the time? Who's gonna count me down?
I'll still do time.
Okay.
So you already got what you want, Will?
Yep.
Alright, for
Yeah,
Team Nuke
it's,
Gorilla, we will hear the superpower and the character in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Caligula. Water bending.
Oh my god.
Find ourselves trekking through the ancient past. As we see with our eyes, we find the Roman Empire, once the strongest the world had ever seen. Masters of architecture, weapons, and further engineering led them to conquer wide swaths of land beyond even current human understanding. I got the whole part there, okay. We find in the Imperium of Rome, the Emperor Caligula. This man is known to be a fucking raving lunatic. Do not get close to him. I cannot stress that enough. Timmy, from accounting his a horrible accident, he still isn't the same to this day. Continuing on. Emperor Caligula has decided that he wants to go on vacation. And of course, he goes to what would soon be known as the coastside city of Milan. While there, he decides to invent the new sport of surfing. Using nothing but rocks from the Pompeian explosion just a mere 100 years before, some say with the fingers still entrenched into the stony pumice. He surfs and hangs 10 and catches big and hangs ready and all that other surfer lingo. Like one does.
It's hard to retcon this because of the accent.
No, it's not. Wreck on.
But all of a
The sun
sudden,
was
he
back.
realizes that the surfboard
No,
under
Wreck-On.
the
Oh, hold on.
unstable.
You're getting
Let's
wrecked
go.
on. Okay. Alright,
Okay,
so
Redcon.
the sun spontaneously grows to 10 times the size and dries all the water from this area. There's no water left.
Does everyone get a Rickon?
No.
Only the winners.
The
Okay.
winners get a retcon.
So it turns out that all of the water on the surface of the earth is gone. Caligula can no longer enjoy his brand new recreational event known as surfing. Indeed, he and the other survivors of Earth burrow deep into the ground. All of a sudden, a hateful bloodlust sears through Caligula. How dare the gods do this to him? Did they not know that he had just given humanity the golden opportunity?
Retcon.
What's up?
Right. Okay. He didn't have a bloodlust. He had a lust for chocolate-flavored cookie dough.
Scrounging through the burrows and canyons and caves that humanity had clung to, he ceaselessly yearned for nothing but the chocolatiest of chips and the cookie of the dough. Oh, how he howled in the caverns, screeching like an emperor of the ancient times is often known to do. All of a sudden, he catches a whiff. Could it be? His delicious cookie dough is close at hand. Scurrying around like a golem in the caverns, he finds what appears to be a rather large Roman. The large Roman is whimpering silently, apparently crying at the loss of his once fat-ass lifestyle. Clutching in his hand seems to be a goopy remain of something savory. At once, Caligula jumps upon the man, thrashing and froling and climbing and scratching and breaking, and unfortunately, he's very small for his time, and, well, the fat guy just has too much mass to work with, so that's not gonna work. Calling upon the ancient god of Poseidon, the master of the waters, and remembering the ancient and forbidden art of bloodbending, Caligula reaches into the man and uses the plasma of his own blood to rip himself betwixt, leaving the gooey remains there. And some say you can still hear Caligula slurping the gooey remains of the dough off of the cavern floor to this day.
Oh,
28
damn.
seconds remaining. He made time. It did good. Alrighty. We're gonna have to go with the redneck and the woodlayer as our last grouping.
Give me 30 seconds.
Alright.
Alright, we will give them 30 seconds. So,
So Richie's telling a story, right?
yes, and you're selecting the power and the character.
Oh, fuck, this is so hard. Can it be any kind of power?
I'm back.
Like any?
Any power.
Okay.
I'm back ready when you are, Keith.
Alright, alright.
So, do I have to pick somebody, Dylan, that you know?
That should be preferred. Like,
Oh,
I
actually,
yeah,
guys.
it
I got a
would be
cool idea.
preferred.
Okay, because I was gonna do
and if
Herbie,
not,
the
then
Fat
we need
Fury.
like, if not, then we need like 10, 15 seconds to quickly research so that we can at least make a decent case for the story.
Alright, Richie, I think I got a good
because
idea.
I knew Way would know him.
Right. I could tell by how he talked about Caligula.
Who picks the power?
You.
You do.
Yeah, you pick both.
I picked the power. Oh, that's gonna be weird. Okay. The character is Donkey Kong. The power, being able to swap places with your shadow.
Being able to what?
Swap places with your shadow.
Swap places with my shadow. Ooh. Oh.
And the clock starts now.
You can do this too, Richie.
We find ourselves within the Super Smash Bros. Brawl universe. Donkey Kong is facing off against Mario, and he is just getting beaten down. Fireball after fireball. He goes to throw a punch. Mario shields. Punches. Bounces off. Nothing. Kong cannot land a punch to save his life. Finally, he's defeated. He faints. He loses the match. Goes
Is this
on.
Mario or K. Rool?
Or
What? It's Mario.
And
Donkey
it was a joke. I paused the time. I'm just saying, is this Mario or K. Rool? Because he can't hit a single hit, you know?
Damn.
I read
Well
Kanji,
played.
by the way.
Wait, what?
I read Kanji.
Oh, what is it?
You are now transported to a
Fuck.
dwarf planet, closely revolving around its sun, at such a tight parameter that there is never a shadow, always perpetual noon.
Fuck.
Interesting. I like the challenge. Alright, my timer is back on, right, Reagan?
Correct. 4 minutes and 9 seconds left.
Okay, alright. So, Donkey Kong is defeated, and then he is transported to a planet that has no shadow as it is too close to the sun. He is constantly barraged with the sunlight and the heat, and it just makes him sweat 24/7, just can't handle it. He decides, one day, you know what? I've had enough. I've had too much of this. This is just too hot. I can't survive like this. So, he's all alone except for the locals on this planet, which happen to be,
Retcon.
yes.
All of the locals were snorks that absolutely hated primates and apes.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. So, you said snorks?
Oh yeah.
So, it's a planet full of snorks. And Donkey Kong is just under attack all of a sudden. They decide, you know what? We fucking hate this primate. We hate apes. Let's beat him up. And he's pissed off still that he got beaten up by Mario. So he goes on a war tear. Just every snork that comes his way, he fucking knocks out and then kills with a punch. Knockout, kill, knockout, kill. Millions of them, the entire planet exterminated. And he decides, you know what? I need to get away. I have an idea. He starts tying all of the snork bodies together. They're in rigor mortis after he ties them. Like, he's got a small window of time where he can tie them all together, like arms and legs to each other. Ties them together, and then rigor mortis sets in. And he just slowly, like, sets them against the sun, but he found a small spot on the sun that doesn't actually radiate heat. It's a sunspot that is dry, cool, and just big enough for a snork's feet. So he sets a snork foot there, and he starts tying off more and more, slowly pressing the planet further and further away. And then suddenly, he's able to see his shadow again. And he feels hope. He missed any sort of interaction. He starts talking to his shadow day after day after day. But that gets annoying. So instead, he goes searching for knowledge. he finds the nearby Snork Library, and within the library archives, he finds an entire study on how to swap places with his shadow, and he decides, you know what? Instead of talking to my shadow, I must become my shadow. I must know what it feels like to be my own shadow. So he recites the ancient proverb, that the spell that allows him to swap places with his shadow and go back whenever he wants. However, he has decided he likes being his shadow far more. The end.
With 1 minute remaining.
Nice work.
Thank you. Thank you.
I guess Caleb can find a way to stump me.
Alright, your character is Toadsworth.
Toadsworth?
Toadsworth from Super Mario Sunshine.
Toadsworth. Oh, the old man Toad.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
And his superpower is, although he can't see or hear, he can smell everything.
What's the character?
Toadsworth.
Okay.
The brown old toad from Mario.
Okay, starting the timer now. Here we are. Toadsworth just relaxing at the beach with the pinata. Okay, got hit with the retcon already. Let's go. No whammies.
Toadsworth is immediately transported into the Booties Void, the most desolate sector of the entire known universe.
Okay, so here, Toadsworth is just relaxing on the beach, and out of nowhere, he's just transported to this unknown world, and it's just vortexes and darkness everywhere. He doesn't know what's going on, just swirly stuff everywhere, a light every now and again, just nothing. There's nothingness. And he just thinks to himself, I can't stand this. So, for some reason, chemicals are just flying everywhere. He doesn't know where they came from. They're just coming out of vortexes and doing stuff. Now Toadsworth is stumped. He sees so much that he cannot handle. So he gets his hand and starts punching his eyeballs. Keeps punching them until they're a bloody pulp and they fall out.
Ugh.
Then, since he's a mushroom, his mushroom-like substance grows over it and heals him.
Recon.
Go for
He's
it.
no longer a mushroom. He's become a musical note.
What?
He's a floating plastic musical note.
Okay, so here's a musical
Hot,
note
dude.
going down the bar. It's Bass Cliff, by the way. So out of nowhere, he just hears bum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba bum ba dum ba bum ba dum ba. He has to go the rhythm, but then he's like,
Here.
In
I
the
don't
vacuum
know.
of space?
I don't know the rhythm. I don't know the rhythm at all. He didn't lose his hearing yet, he just lost his sight. We didn't
Okay.
get to that part yet. So, he's like, I hate this music. It sounds nothing like the Mario music. So out of nowhere, he uses the top of his quarter note to stab the side where his ears used to be. Uses that part on top of the quarter note to kill himself. Well, not kill himself, but to kill his ears. So now he can't hear at all. And that's an unknown substance comes out of nowhere and clashes with him. And now, he smells absolutely nothing very strongly, since he's just on a music bar. But then, he doesn't realize, but The music note he is just sheet music. Then, orange juice gets dumped onto the paper. And then, he smells orange. So strong. The end. Mine was absolutely terrible.
Well, you
I still
had
liked
to
it.
deal with some shenanigans. So you did okay.
That was a
Honestly,
hard
the
one.
power, the power was a little weird. Just-
Yeah.
You did okay, Riggin. It was tough for you. That was a tough one.
All right,
had missed
so
the
our three
power
losers.
occasionally, So I had to just turn you into musical note, because that's the only thing I can think of that would make almost any power like difficult.
Alright, so now the three losers must choose the winner of us three.
How should
wants
they
to go
do it?
first?
What to vote, or should they each?
Yeah, we should-
say a name.
I'm gonna go with number 2.
Wait,
Number
who was
2.
second? Was that me?
I
Yeah,
think
you-
so.
Yeah, you went second.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Nice.
Alright, one for the Woodlayer.
Caleb and Keith.
I'm gonna
you
give
gotta
it
vote.
the. I'm gonna give it the Woodlayer. I'm gonna give it the Woodlayer.
2 for the Woodlayer, which means the other vote does not matter because majority rules.
I still want
What?
to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it too.
Sweet.
So Keith, who do you think was the
Oh fuck! I forgot it was me.
in the world where Keith forgot it was him?
Dude, that slurp juice is strong. Okay.
He's not regained.
I don't know. I don't feel like I should do it because I'm gonna be biased.
No, you won't be biased. Go ahead and vote.
Like, overall, I liked it. It was entertaining when I did really like Richie's. I like that. I like the improvised getting away from moving the plant from the sun.
But I think the best overall told story had to go to Way.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I think so too.
definitely. No doubt about it.
So go Way or Woodlayer?
Woodlayer
So-
won, but I think Way had the best
Okay.
overall.
I think it's since the
Alright.
tiebreaker. I think Richie just came out with a good on the tiebreaker, but Way killed it. Like, all.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have it. Woodlayer wins. Who won the last episode, by the way?
I think that was me too.
Wow, Woodlayer 2-0. Woodlayer
I'm
2-0 here.
I can't remember for sure, but I think it was.
I know you won at one point last time. I don't remember if it was the last winner because we didn't. I don't think we did a
Yeah,
tiebreaker.
I don't remember overall, but I know I took at least one round, and I think it was close. at
Alright,
the
Keith, stop the recording whenever you're ready.
Oh, actually,
The grand winner?
we all had a 1. Dude, there was no winners. I don't think.
Oh yeah,
We
I
did a
don't think we
tiebreaker.
did a tiebreaker,
I
did
don't
we?
remember we did a tiebreaker.
I'm pretty sure we did. I don't know. We'll have to look.
I just see.
We'll revisit that, but yeah.
I see Richie 1, General 1, Will 1, and me 1. I don't see a tiebreaker.
So far Richie's in the lead.
He won the
Yes.
most, I think.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Alright. Keith, did you stop the recording?
I will start it now. Any closing words?
Go for it.
Yeah, you can find me and the other Will on New Grill Media.
Will and away.
Will
Yeah.
and Way.
Yeah, usually we're gonna be doing most of our stuff out right now is basically movie reviews, but as you might have been able to pick up, we're we're looking at doing a couple more things of a little different.
Yeah, I'm running a nerd podcast with another buddy of ours under the Nuclear Media umbrella right now, and then we're also working on a pet project. It's hush hush right now.
Do you guys have a YouTube or anything?
No, we're just do podcasts. You can find us anywhere podcasts are.
Oh, sweet.
Are you
I'll
on
subscribe.
Spotify?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, I'm about to look that up.
Google Play?
If you, I will give you the warning, fair warning. If you find us, be prepared for not the best quality. I'm working on that end right now, actually, but hopefully as we step forward, it'll be.
Don't worry. I said WOTWW are literally the highlight of don't worry about our quality.
Yeah.
Content
But-
quality.
I mean, our middle podcast is our drunk podcast. I think they're the best ones.
Oh, it's so good.
Those always are.
Okay, Keith, if you wouldn't mind posting those videos on my channel as well as like yours.
I'll just upload them so you can edit this stuff out.
Okay. Caleb, I'm guessing you're probably gonna edit slight parts out and make it into.
If yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so when you do that, do you mind maybe posting it privately on my channel as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll need to have access to the video first, though.
Okay, so Keith should be able to send it. Well, when he uploads it to mine, I'll just give you access.
I'm just
to
gonna
my channel or
upload. I'm gonna
whatever.
upload to OneDrive so you can just download it and edit it beforehand.
To OneDrive.
Yeah, I'll put you a link.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
All right.
Well,
Thank you, New Gorilla, for guesting. And
You
do we
guys
have
are
any
awesome.
closing?
Anytime,
any-
anytime.
Do we have any closing remarks on maybe some improvements or some, things that you guys liked about this episode more than the last episode?
The improvements I can give
More
are
structured.
always vote me. I should win unanimously every time. Thank you.
I might be a guest, but I demand a recount. No, you guys are good. I think I wasn't here for the first one, but I could see how those changes you made might make it a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I think just keep heading in that direction.
Maybe have like the timer on the screen itself. Like if then hopefully the next time we can figure out the problem with the stream, and on the stream put the timer on the screen for when somebody starts.
Well, that could be done.
Yeah, I figured it would be fairly easy, and also like have little like tabs, not tabs, but like tiny images of like the character in one screen, and like you
That'd
can like type the power.
That'd be easy
and,
to do on
put it in the-
OBS.
All that is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you just add a scene or.
The
add
only
image.
hard part is getting all the characters in advance, because you have to download the images.
that's a fair point. Maybe just like type the superpower and like words. I don't know if you're able to do that when OBS is going on.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, then just
Okay.
add it in. Put it in studio mode and then just have it ready, and then whenever it's time, just just
Maybe not
put it on the other screen.
not a picture. Yeah, maybe not a picture of the like character, but like just have like a word of what the character is. Just like type it up on the
Yeah.
screen or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe even a point tally or something.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
could
pretty-
make the one thing I could try to do. I could try to make like a template and have like the areas spaced out for like power and then character and then time, and then all you got to do is just when you switch scenes, the same template, but just different, characters and
Yeah.
powers and stuff.
That'd be good.
So I got one suggestion. If you guys think that it's possible, where we do like single rounds, just like quick rounds, 3 minutes or something like that, just one set round,
so that it's a quick video, so that just anybody can log on and watch it real quick. Like if it were in the 12 to 15 minute range, something like that.
I'm gonna
Like,
be
I don't
completely
know how
honest.
possible it is.
What we could do with this, we could at least make, like, I'd say roundabout almost 20 videos with just this stream we just did now. Like,
Yeah.
have each person's story as like a video.
Right.
Like, have a like, obviously include the first story with like all the intro and explaining the rules and everything, and do the next one, and then the next one, and the next one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
something like
I
that.
was
Just
thinking
because
take all the winners and then just like edit out the winners one and then like title the video something along the lines of making a story about, or like, you know, creating a story about this, and have it just whatever the
So we're gonna
winner
improve
is.
the quality a bit.
If
Another
we
one
could,
that I think
if
that
we
could
could
that would be cool is if like you did a personal highlight one where you were able to edit each round so that you have the small part where it explains what the power is, and then you go into each person. And so let's say for me or for Dylan, the video would be round 1, the explanation of the superpower, and then it would start into your round, just you talking, and then that video would continue and you would hear round 2's power, and then you would start talking for round 2 again.